Hello, good evening, team.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Mahesh, voice not audible.
I'm sorry. Yeah, hope now it's audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So,
Good evening.
as we
Good evening.
today, good evening. As we start today the inventory portion in Tally. Before we get into it, I want to know: are there any queries or questions? Are there any clarifications? Are there any points that we need to discuss with respect to any of the previous sessions that you have done? Are there any open points? Okay, so my understanding is there are two open points that we wanted to discuss. One was basically with respect to the budget, where sorry, scenario management, where one report we were just checking about it. The second is one of the users had asked for how to accommodate TDS entries. These are the 2 points that were still pending. Is there any other points that I have missed, or are there any new points that you wanted to discuss, you wanted to get the clarity on before we move to the new topic? So you have 30 seconds time. If anyone has any queries, you could just put it up either on chat or you could unmute and speak. Based on that, we can take this discussions forward. Okay, looks like there are no queries, further queries. Hope my screen is visible and my voice is audible to all the participants.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's start today's topic: inventory management in Tally. So how many of you, so how many of you are using inventories in Tally? Either can you just put it on chat as yes, we are using inventory. Those who are using inventory, or anyone can speak up and tell you are using inventory or not. Okay, Varun, Shivu, Gaurav, Narendra, Akbar, Venkana for the clients. Okay, fine. Okay, so what we'll do today is we'll just look at why inventories are required, how you could maintain the inventories, what are all the master configurations that you need to do, and see how the vouchers can be created. Okay, and inventory will be divided into two topics. One is basic configuration and management. Second is advanced configuration and management. Today we will be talking on the basic configuration and management of inventory. Okay, so as the purpose of this training is to ensure that all the participants learn TallyPrime and understand how it could be how it could help in their business to increase efficiency and eliminate duplication of work. what all of you believe? Are we achieving this purpose in each of our trainings? Do you all believe this?
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. So those who don't believe, okay, be open, it's okay. Okay, we can discuss and say, because ultimately, okay, you have to ensure that you become smarter using this application. Okay, so that's the objective. Fine. So let's move forward. So how do you enable inventory? And there are multiple inventory masters that you could maintain. One is stock group, one is stock category, the third is unit of measures, and the stock item. I have taken stock item in the last, stock group and category to start with, and unit of measure, because these are all the basic requirements when you create stock item. Right? Okay, what is stock group? And why stock group is required? Stock group is nothing but a summarization of individual stock items is a stock group. How could you summarize that? Example, it depends from business to business, how they require the summarization of stock group. So based on that, you could set up. Okay, say like example, it might be based on the product type or product brand or product size, various things. Okay, so you could categorize, sorry, you could group all the individual items into that specific group that you would have created. And is group mandatory to create in Tally? No, it is not mandatory. Okay, based on the business need, you could create. If you don't create any group in Tally, in default, Tally has something called primary group, which will be default tagged to. Okay, and there is one more thing called track stock item based on the group. Basically, this what it does is, sorry, stock track item based on the group is nothing but reporting based on whatever the groups that you have done. Okay, so that third is the reporting. Okay, so there is one more option in when you create group, that when we look at that group, we will see how to create that. What are the options we have? Hope this is clear. So let's do one thing. Let's just straight go to Tally, okay, and start looking at how do we create stock groups. Okay, so let me do one thing. Okay, let me start with one new company from the scratch, so that it's much more clear for us to look at how this can be used. Okay, so as we open Tally, okay, so Tally, the application is open. So now I want to create a company. I'm just clicking on create company. I'm creating a company called Inventory Management Training, MCS. Address, I'm just leaving it blank. Okay, all others, I don't need any of those things. And I have created. So the first thing, as my basic accounting is enabled, you need to ensure that maintain inventory. This is also enabled. Okay, so let's do one thing. I don't need this. And so this is how you will see basically. So ensure that, how do you enable inventory in Tally? So first ensure that you have maintain inventory, you have enabled it, and integrate accounts with inventory, you have enabled it. This I will explain to you. Okay, what is the difference between integrating accounts and inventory? Yes or no? Okay, then as usual, GST is enabled. Okay, so I'm just taking, okay, So all other features we'll look at when we take the GST topic. I just updated the GST number and I've saved. Now I have enabled inventory in Tally. So if you don't want inventory, you could just go back to your accounting features and make this as no. That's it. Then only in accounting is available. If you need inventory, you could also enable inventory. Okay. So this is where you need to set up. Once when you set up, as usual, as you created your accounting groups, accounting ledger, various masters in accounts, similarly, you could create various masters under inventory. So if you just go to create, you get inventory masters. So these are all the things that you get. Stock group, stock category, stock item, unit. Unit is nothing but unit of measures that I specified. So how do you, so now let us take some examples that becomes much more clearer. So what I'll do is, I'll just open one Excel. From there, we can start discussing how we want to create masters, and we could also cross check whether are we able to create masters based on that. Okay. So now example, before we create that in Tally, okay, let me just give you some examples so that it's easier for us to track. So this business is into electronics goods trade. Okay. So this is what we do. Okay, we deal with the Philips brand or Sony. We also deal with Bajaj. We also deal with Samsung. Okay, so this is basically brands. Okay, so let me just say these are brands. Okay, products. We deal with TV. We deal with AC coolers. We also deal with fridge. We also deal with electronic goods, right? Huh? Washing machine. Okay, so these are some of the things that we deal with. Okay, so brands we have, products we have. Okay, then you will also have unit of measures. Okay, so with this, I'll also include one more item so that we can check the unit of measures. Say like example, I'll say cleaning items, or what do you call the cleaning liquid. Okay, say example, I've just taken that. So these are all some of the products that we deal with. So now, what is the unit of measure? Okay, one, we have numbers. Okay, we also deal in liters. Okay, because cleaning liquid example, I'm dealing in liters, so that we have multiple examples. Okay, so now when I create stock group, so now here what I could do is I could decide what should be my groups. Groups either can be brand or groups can be products. Either of the one I could decide based on my internal business requirement. Okay, so now let me tell you, I want to maintain my groups based on products, because reporting also we get similarly. See, we need to look at from the business requirement. Say like example, okay, this business we are into electronic goods and we are selling to end consumers. Let us say, okay, we buy from the distributor and sell to end consumers, and we have a showroom. Now you need to understand how the business works in that showroom. A customer walks in and he has decided he want to buy a TV. Now once when he wants to buy a TV, okay, so some of your salespeople might engage with him, okay, to understand his requirements, what is his budget, what kind of TV that he is looking at, and now TV is available in all three brands, Sony, Bajaj, and Samsung. Okay. Now, if the consumer is not particular about the brand, a salesman will explain all three brands. Now, I need to know which brand, how much of items are available with me. So, for that, it's always better. Products will make it as stock groups. Okay, so now I have a group called TV, AC, fridge, washing machine, and cleaning items. So I'll say cleaning items or service items. Okay. So this should be my stock group. So I'll just create stock group based on TV, AC, fridge, washing machine, and service items. So to create that, I'm just coming back to Tally, going to create on gateway of Tally, stock group. What's the name? Select example, TV is the group, which comes under primary. Should quantities of items be added? Means if all the items under this group is based on one single unit of measure, then you could add all those things and show it in the report. Okay, say example, I'll just say yes. GST will come later. Okay, currently let us not really worry about the GST. Okay, TV, fridge, okay, parallel, AC. I'll say quantities be added. I don't want to add quantity. Then washing machine. Okay, then service items. Okay, so I have created multiple stock groups. So if you want to look at which are all the groups that you have created, you could go to chart of accounts and click on stock groups. I have created 5 stock groups. Is this clear? HSN code and SSC code, we will come to it later, Umesh. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so next, hope this is clear with you. Okay, based on the example that we are driving, so this has become my stock groups, AC, TV, fridge, washing machine, and service items. Okay, then let us look at what is next in our presentation. What is the next point? Stock category. Again, you could link the stock items, individual items based on common features like product, size, brand, etc., etc. Again, it is based on your internal MIS requirement. Okay, this is nothing to do with statutories. Stock category is parallel to stock group. So when you define an item, you can link it to groups as well as categories. And again, it is not mandatory. Okay, it's not mandatory that you should always create categories. If you don't want for a category for a particular business, you could not create that. Okay, then you could also track based on stock categories. It's not group, it's categories. I'm sorry, there is a mistake in the presentation that you're looking at. So you could also track based on the categories. Okay, we'll come to these categories later. Further, we will move, we'll revert back, okay, with proper examples. Next is unit of measure. What is unit of measure? Every stock item should have a unit of measure for you to track the quantity. Quantity tracking is very important. Say, like example, if you say TV, how many TVs are laying in your stock? You need to know 23 numbers. So you should have a track of quantity. So for that, unit of measure is very important. In unit of measures, there are 2 kinds that you could define. There is simple unit of measures. There is alternate unit of measures. You could define the alternate also. And Unit of measure is not mandatory. Okay, say example, you might say like example, when you are selling a TV, your technician might go and do an installation of TV at the consumer place, and you might charge 500 rupees for that. Now for that, there is no quantity involved. It is just a service that you are rendering. So you need not have quantity for a item that you have created. Still, it can be an optional. Okay, in rare cases, that is also possible in Tally. Okay, so let us look at it. So how do you create unit of measure? Again, come back to Tally. To create unit of measure, again go back to create, and you have units. Click on unit. Default, there are no units. There are only no units are created. You need to create based on your requirement. So like example, the first unit of measure is numbers. I'll just say NOS. Formal name is numbers. Then since GST is enabled, there is something called UQC, that is unit quantity code. This is based on the GST, based on the goods and service tax. There are predefined units that has been defined for the purpose of GST. So you need to go and tag to which UQC this unit of measure belongs to. So now in this case, there is numbers here also. You could just take list the whole UQC, select whichever is the appropriate numbers. Then do you require decimals? So decimals is, do you require points? Like example, can you sell 2.5 TVs? It's not possible. But if somebody is into food items, probably they can sell 2.25 kgs of rice, right? In those cases, decimal points will be required. In this case, it's asking how many decimal points you need. 1 or 2 or 3, you could define the decimal points after your whole number. What is the decimal point? So we'll come to this. Currently in numbers, I don't require decimals. Okay. Now, example, let me say liters. LTR. Liters. So here you could link this to kiloliter. In this case, yes, I need quantity because I might sell in half liter. I might sell quarter liter. Okay. So what is the number of decimals that you require? You could define that. Okay. So example, let me just create one. Kgs. Kilograms. Here example, I'll say I require 3 decimals. Say example, I might sell 2.445 kgs. I want the 3 decimal tracking. So like that, you could define based on your internal requirements. So now we have created 3 units of measure. So example, if I just come to chart of accounts unit, you could see there is kgs, there is liter, and there is numbers. Okay, hope this is clear. So we created this. Next comes stock item. Okay, so stock item I have not listed out here. The next comes the stock item. Okay, once when we create stock item, I'll explain about the stock category. Okay, so what is stock item? Stock item is the last individual items that will be linked to a transaction, that is linked to a voucher. Like in accounting, you have ledgers. In inventory, you have stock items. That is what gets linked at the voucher level. So to create stock item, again, I will go back to create stock item. Okay. So categories, it is just showing not applicable. If you look at the screen before even creation. Okay. But Under units, it's showing as primary. Okay, so here we will be discussing on these basics of inventory in the further sessions. When we look at the advanced inventory management, we will look at the advanced inventory features. Okay, so currently we will stick on only to the basic inventory management. Okay, now if I want to create, okay, let's go back to Excel. Okay, and do some understanding, have some understanding. Okay, so which are all the individual TVs that I have? I need to track. Say example, Sony TV 55-inch is one. Sony TV 42 inches. Okay. What is this? Okay. Then I have Samsung TV 30-inch. Okay. Then I also have Samsung LED. You have LED TVs or you have LED TVs also have LED TVs. Okay, 56 inches. Okay. Example, you also have Bajaj TV. Okay, I'm just taking as an example. 45 inches. Bajaj TV, 60 inches. Okay. Then I have AC 1 ton. Okay, which is from Bajaj. I'll just say Bajaj AC 1 ton. Okay, Bajaj AC 1.5 ton. Okay, similarly, I have Samsung AC 2 ton. Samsung AC 1 ton. Okay, Sony doesn't have AC. Okay, so next I have washing machine. Samsung 4.5 liters. Sorry, kg. Okay, then I have Samsung 7.5 kgs. Okay, then I have Sony 5 kgs. This is washing machine. Sony 9 kg washing machine. Okay, then I have fridge. Bajaj 7.5 liters. 7.5. Huh? 170 liters. Okay. Bajaj 170 liters. Bajaj two-door 250 liter. Okay. Example, I just deal only in Bajaj. Okay, let us just take this as example. Okay. Now, these are my stock items. So I have, or example, I've just put it on Excel. Okay, now we'll just create the same things in Tally. Okay, Sony TV 55 inches, right? So I've come to Tally. I've come to create stock item. Sony TV 55 inches. This is the stock item name, because the name should always be unique. You can't have a duplication names of the stock item. Now, under which group it comes? This comes under TV. Okay, category, currently I have not created any category. Okay, now on the fly also I could create a category. The reason why I didn't create there is, if you require on the fly, you could just click on create and say This comes under Sony. Okay, now what is the unit of measure? How do you want to measure this? This is in numbers. Alternate numbers, currently it's not applicable. I don't require an alternate number. Such additional details I don't need. GST, yeah, this is where I need to configure the GST. I could configure the GST either at the stock item level or at the stock group level. For all the items under this group, Sony, for all the items under TV, if it is the same percentage of GST and the same HSN code, I could define at the group level itself. If there are different HSN codes and different tax rate under a group, then I need to define at the stock item level. Okay, so this we will discuss in detail when we look at the GST topic. Okay, currently I'm just giving, okay, I'm just giving the HSN code, taxability. Say example, this is under 28%. So I'm defining the GST and I'm saying it's goods. Okay, opening stock. Do I have any opening stock in my in my stock when I start? No, currently I don't have any opening stock, so I'm just leaving it blank. Opening stock will be applicable once when it's a continuous business. You move from one financial year to another financial. Okay, so I've created this. Next, Sony TV 42 inches. Sony TV 42 inch, it comes under TV and it comes under Sony. It's again numbers. Okay, so I'm enabling GST here. I'll give a different code, taxable at 28%. Okay, I've saved this. Next, I have Samsung TV 30 inches. TV 30 inches. This comes again under TV. Now this comes under Samsung. Category comes under Samsung. So I'll just create Samsung, Alt C for create, shortcut key, or you could click on create and say, okay, how this is measured? Numbers. Okay, so alternate quantity not applicable. GST is applicable. I'm just giving the code, taxable at 28%. Okay, the next is Samsung LED TV 56 inches. Samsung LED TV 56 inches comes under TV. Category comes under Samsung. Okay. GST is, I need to enable the GST, taxable at 28%. I'm saved this. Next, Bajaj TV 45 inches. Comes under TVs. Bajaj is not available. I'll just go to create or click Alt C on my keyboard. Bajaj is the category. I've created a category. Numbers, alternate units not applicable. I've given the HSN code, taxable at 28%. All TVs are at 28%. I just created that. Next is Bajaj TV 60 inches. So I've created Bajaj TV 45 inches. Now I need to create Bajaj TV 60 inches. Either I could type it or click on Control R. Control R is a shortcut key to repeat the previous record. To repeat the previous record, rather than typing, you could just click on Control R on your keyboard, which will just repeat the previous record. And I want to just change few things over here. I just made it to 60 inches. Okay, it's not 30 inches, it is 60 inches. You could do that. So you can save time. Okay, and this comes under TV and this comes under Bajaj. Applicable. taxable at 28% goods. Okay, so next, similarly, I could create ACs, Bajaj AC 1 ton. There's a stock item name comes under AC, group gets changed, category is Bajaj, units of measure is, again it is numbers. Okay, I'm giving the HSN code. I'm saying this is charged at 18%. So let us do one thing. Let us take an example of all ACs are charged at 18% and it has only one single HSN code. So I need not define at the stock item level. So I can just go back to alter, go to stock group, AC. Here you have an option called set alter GST details. Enable this and give the HSN code and say taxable at what rate. So it will automatically pick for all the items under this group. So for all AC items, it will default take 18% because you have defined this at the stock group level. So go to create. Now create a stock item. Bajaj AC 1 ton comes under AC because you are tracking at the group level, and the category comes as Bajaj, quantity as numbers, alternate not required. I will not define any of the things. Okay, I've just created this. Next is Bajaj AC 1.5 ton. So I'll just say Control R and add 1.5. It has become a new item, AC, under Bajaj, numbers, Control A, save. Then Samsung AC 2 ton comes under AC, comes under Samsung, quantity. So I will not define any GST, save. Okay, Control R, then I'll say it is 1 ton. Under AC, under Samsung, quantity as numbers. Okay, so I've created this. Now let me create Samsung 4.5 tons. Sorry, 4.5 kg. This is for washing machine, right? Okay. So for washing machine, again, I'll show you one more way of doing things. Okay, simpler way of doing things. Again, the washing machine, let me take its charge at 28% and it has only one single GST HSN code. So I can go and define this at, go to alter and click on groups, go to washing machine and enable GST here, give the HSN code taxable at 28%. So I've defined at the group level. Okay, now example, all these items have only one unit of measure that is called numbers. Okay, washing machine. Okay, so I want to create all this 4 at one go. Is there a possibility? Yes, you could do. You could create multi items in one single screen on a grid fashion. So to do that, example I'll show you. You could click on create. Sorry, don't go to create. Go to chart of accounts. Okay, click on stock items. So currently it is showing what are all the items you have created. Under AC, you have all the ACs you have created. Under TV, you have all the TVs you have created. Now you are supposed to create washing machines. And there are 4 items that you want to create. And I am showing you the simpler way of creating rather than going to individuals and create. On this screen, right hand side, you could see there is something called multi-master. Click on multi-master. And what do you want to do with multi-master? Create, alter, or set up GST rate. So I'm just clicking on multi-create. Under which group? Under washing machine. So you could select under which group you want to create. Okay. Now, what you could also do is, you could just, if you have this data, you could copy and paste. Okay. And define quantity unit of measure. If you have opening balance, you could define that. Okay. The only disadvantage here is you cannot link it to a category. If you are not using category, this will become much more easier way of doing things. Okay, here linking of category is not possible. Okay, in one screen, you could create multiple items and save it one shot rather than creating individual. So I'm just copy paste numbers. Okay, save. I've saved it. See, look here. All 4 got created at one shot. The only problem is in this method, you cannot link it to category. See here, category it is showing us not applicable. Because when I created, there were 2 categories of Sony and 2 items in the category of Samsung. In the grid level, you cannot have multiple categories defined. So that was one of the reasons. Okay, or let me just check, is there a possibility? Okay, so like example, if I just click on alter, multi-alter for washing machine. Okay, in F12, could I give the category details? Show category details, yes. If I make this as yes, yeah. So here you could define category. So you could link it to Samsung. The respective category, you could link this and it will be possible. Only thing is you need to enable these details and do it. So you have defined this. So with this, you could also create multiple items at one go. If you have all the details in any other Excel or Word or any other application, it becomes easier for you to create. Okay. Then let me also create these 2 items. Then let me take the questions so that it's easier for us to deal with. So Bajaj 170 liters, Bajaj 2 doors. So there is only one this thing. So I could go to multi-create. Okay, as we did. This is for fridge, right? Okay, so let me just go to individual items only. Okay, so let us go to create and define, because this might have different example. I'm just taking might have different HSN codes. Fridge, this comes under Bajaj. Quantity is numbers. Okay, set alter GST rates. Taxable example, I'm just saying this as 12% because, or 5%. Okay, example I'm giving. Okay, it's not 5% actually. And I have one more 2 door. Okay, so example, I will have this at a different percentage. I could also do that. Okay, same item with different item identification, you could have a different rates. Unit of measure, this is not applicable. Okay, example, I'm just saying, given this, and taxable, this I'm saying at 28%. Okay, so now if you want to look at the report, you could go and check stock items. So here you are seeing the items which is linked to groups. So all ACs is available in one group, all fridges available in one group, TVs are available in one group, washing machine is available in one group. If you want to look at the same report, okay, under category, you could see the brand wise. All Bajaj is in under one group, all Samsung are under one group, all Sony are under one group. Hope this is clear. How to create groups, how to create categories, and how to create unit of measure, and how to create stock item. Single item, multi-item. We have covered all the scenarios over here. So, okay, are there any questions? Is this clear? Let me look at chat. Gaurav, I am not getting an option to select stock category. Gaurav, on that, when you go to create, if it is not listing called stock category, on the top you have show more. Click on show more. See here, I hope you are able to see the screen. When you go to create, if it is not showing category, on the top you have something called show more. Click on this show more, you should get stock category. Okay, I hope this is clear. Are there any questions for this? Before we move on to next. Okay, so if there are any questions, please put it on chat. I'm just taking 30 seconds break. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So now if you are clear on how to create this masters, now let us go to vouchers. Okay, so now once you have enabled the inventory, you also get something called stock summary. Currently, there is no quantity available. Show this report is showing blank. Okay. So first, let us do one thing. Let us create one purchase entry. Stock has to come in. We need to purchase. So let's create one purchase entry. So can anyone of you? Okay. So let us take one supplier. So for this, I also need a GST number. Okay. So can anyone of you give your company name and the GST number? So that I'll create that as supplier. Can anyone type on your chat? What's your organization name and the GST number? Okay, not a problem. I'll do one thing. I will show you one more trick in Tally. Okay, so I got one GST number, hopefully. Yeah. Chetan, what is the organization name? It's KGA. Okay, Darshil Technologies. Darshil Technologies, can I get the GST number? I need both company name and GST number. Okay, so let us take Darshil Technology, and I also have got their GST number. Okay, so let me say Darshil Technologies is our supplier. Okay, so I will go to the voucher entry, purchase. Okay, so if you look at here, currently we have not created any masters. There are only two ledgers. We have just created only the stock items, right? Zero transactions. So directly I'm going to a voucher entry. Okay, on the fly I'm creating everything. So Darshil invoice number 1234, 1st April, party, who is the supplier? So I'll just click on create. Darshil Technologies comes under sundry creditors. Suppliers comes under sundry creditors. Okay, 30 days of credit. Address JP Nagar, Bangalore 560078. Pin code. Okay, all others I need not have. These are not mandatory. But yes, GST number is required. He is a regular GST vendor, and I've just copy pasted the GST number. Okay, so this is the minimum requirement. Okay, so receipt details, this I can move forward. So now here, rather than asking the ledger, it is asking what item you are purchasing. Okay, so here I'm getting the list of all the items. Okay, so let me just say 170-liter fridge. Okay, so if you want the additional description, you could enable that. But if you don't need additional description, you could go to FL configure and disable additional description for stock item. Make it as no. Okay. Then if you don't need the supplier and other details, you could make it as no. So typically you can play around here with the screen type. Okay, quantity, example 5 numbers I have bought. Okay, at 12,000 rupee per item. So 60,000. To which purchase ledger it has to go. I have not created any purchase ledger. So I need to create, again Alt C to create. Local purchase. I'm just taking under purchase group. This is not a discount or a round off ledger. GST is applicable, but I'm not defining anything. Okay, because it's been defined at the stock group or the stock item level. Okay, the next is Bajaj 2-door, 2 numbers, 15,000 rupees. Okay, and if you have one common ledger for all the items, okay, or see if you have one common ledger for all the items, you could again go back to F12 and enable select common ledger account for item allocation, make this as yes. So at the item level, it will not ask. Okay, so I'll just come back once again. Okay, I'm not going to save this, escape. Now if you go to the voucher entry, okay, so again you could look at here. Once when you select the party, it will also ask for the purchase ledger name, so that individual items you need not give. So you could use this option also. Okay, so 5 numbers, 12,000, because this will help you to do the faster data entry. 2 numbers, 15,000. Okay, Bajaj AC 1 ton, 3 numbers, 7,500. 1 ton, 5 numbers, 6,000. And it is automatically calculating the value. Bajaj TV 45 inches, 10 numbers at 10,000 rupees. Bajaj 60 inches, 5 numbers at 14,000 rupees. Okay, then comes Samsung washing machine, 4.5 kg, 3 numbers at 12,000. Samsung 7.5 kg, 10 numbers at 20,000. Then Samsung AC 1 ton, 5 numbers at 12,000. I'm just randomly taking. Okay, I'm not really looking at the reality things. Okay, for example, I'm just taking these things. 2 tons at 18,000 per number. Samsung 2 tons, then Samsung LED TV 56, 1 number at 90,000. 30-inch TV, Samsung, 3 numbers at 30,000 each. Okay. Then I have Sony washing machine, 5 numbers, 20,000 rupees. Example, Sony 9 kg washing machine, 10 numbers, 40,000 rupees, 4 lakhs. Next, I have Sony 42-inch. 1 second. Sony 42-inch, 5 numbers, 25,000. Sony 55-inch, 4 numbers, 50,000. Okay, so now I'm purchasing all the items that is there. Okay, now I also need to have GST, right? GST is of different percentages. There is one item at 12%, few items at 18%, few items at 28%. Okay, so you could create GST ledgers based on different different percentages, or you could have a common GST ledgers. It is based on your internal requirement, and all these things we will discuss when we are discussing the GST as the topic. Okay, currently I'm just creating one output CGST, one output SGST, sorry, input CGST and input SGST to complete this transaction. Okay, so I'm just creating Alt C, I'll create input CGST under duties and taxes. It comes under GST. It is a central tax. Percentage I am not defining because it will pick either from the stock group or the stock item level. It's a common ledger. I am not defining CGST at 6%, CGST at 9%, CGST at 14%. I'm not having separate ledgers. I'm having one single common ledger. Okay. So round off, I'm saying it's not applicable. Once when I enter, look here, it has internally calculated and it is telling me the tax input CGST should be 2,23,085. Let us cross check that. Is that correct or not? Similarly, I have input SGST, duties and taxes under GST. It's a state tax. I'm not defining any percentage. I'm not giving any round off method. And it has calculated 2,23,085. Okay, GST details. Currently, I don't need these details. And I have 30 days of credit. Purchase bill accounted. Hope this is clear. So I have taken all the items. Now, if you want to know the breakup of GST, how did the 2,38,000 came? Okay, is that number correct or not? So first thing is we need to understand it's a purchase invoice. So I have an invoice on hand. My supplier has given me the invoice. So the tax is already charged on that. That is one way of cross-checking that. If you also want to cross-check whether this value is correct or not, okay, you could go to more details on the right-hand side of your screen. Okay, then click on GST analysis. Okay, so sorry, not here. Where do I look at the GST analysis? Yeah. So here, related reports, click on GST analysis. It is giving you a GST analysis here. Bajaj, what is the tax for this item? Okay, item wise, it is giving taxable value. It's not showing the tax rate, it is showing the, if you explode by clicking Alt F1, it will show you the item, what is the rate, what is the central tax, and what is the state tax, what percentage has been charged. Okay, so you can get the breakup of 4,46,170 to which item how much of tax has been charged. Since we are using one common ledger, in the ledger it is just taking only the summary of the value. Okay, you could also check if you want to look at how the invoice or the voucher looks like. Okay, you could click on print, Control P for print. Okay, and you could click on preview. This you are looking at a voucher type, so it is showing like this. What you could do is you could click on configure, okay, and say as voucher no. Okay, now click on Control A for save and click on preview. See, look, this is how your purchase voucher looks like. So there is an item, HSN code, tax rate, quantity, rate, unit of measure, and value. And what is the input CGST? What is the input SGST and input CGST? Okay. If you also need the tax summary as per the GST requirement, again you could go to configure, okay, and say show GST tax analysis, statutory, item wise details. Okay, tax analysis. 1 second, click on more details. GST rate, stock items. Okay, item details. You could just enable this. Look here, the format has changed. Now it is, you can print it on a landscape, which says the item name, HSN code, quantity, rate, unit of measure, amount, what is the taxable value, what is the CGST 2.5% amount, SGST 2.5% amount, and taxable value. Okay, so you could get it individual item level details also. And here it will also show you the HSN code wise breakup with the percentages. Okay, at 2.5%, how much is charged? At 14 and 14, how much is charged? At 9 and 9, how much is charged? What is the tax value? Hope this is clear. Okay, so we have made the purchase entry now. Okay, now if you look at how does your stock statement come up? So now there is a new report called stock summary on your gateway of Tally. Click on stock summary. Now it is showing you AC, it is worth 2.25 lakhs, but it is not showing the quantity. Okay. But other things, it is showing the quantity and the rate and the value. Why for AC it is not showing and why for other items it is showing? Okay, so first thing that you could do is click on Alt F1, it will explode. So under AC, now you have item. Each item has a quantity, rate, closing value. Closing quantity, closing rate, closing value. Okay, so this is the first thing. So you might ask me why it is not showing the quantity and rate for AC, but for others it is showing. Very simple. On the group, if you click on Control Enter, what is the option that you have used here? Show quantities of the items to be added. Should the quantities of items should be added? You have told yes for fridge. So it has added the quantities and it is showing you the total number of 5 plus 2 as 7. But when you go to AC and click on Control Enter, here you have maintained it as no. That's the reason it is not showing. This is reason number 1. Reason number 2 why it will not show is under one group, if you have different units of measure, say example, one item is in numbers, the other item is in kgs, then again also it will not show because it cannot add up different unit of measures to one number. Hope this is clear. Now in this report, while it is showing only the closing balance, you could click on F12 and enable and disable whichever the fields that you need. Say example, you require all other fields, say like you require opening balance, you require inward, you require outward. Okay. So here you could see multiple columns. The first column is about the opening stock details. Second is about the inward. Inward is nothing but which is coming in, typically a purchase entry or a receipt note GRN entry. Outward, which is a sale entry that you are doing. Okay, and what is the closing stock? In this example, we have just done only the purchase entry. So it is just showing only the inward entry. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let us make one sales entry. Okay. Before making that, let me just go and look at, is there any questions? No. Okay. So let me make one sale entry. Okay, I'm just going to voucher entry, clicking on sale, changing the date to 2nd of April, party. So I'm just creating Alt-C, Globus Inc. comes under sundry debtors. Okay, so I give him 15 days of credit. Okay, and there is 1 lakh credit limit specified. Okay, so I've just created this customer name. Okay, sales ledger, it's not available. Okay, say example, I'm just creating local sales under sales account. There's not a round off. Okay, GST is applicable, but I'm not defining any GST here because it is coming from this stock item. Okay, so now which is the item that I'm selling? Example, I'll just take 170 liter Bajaj fridge. One number I'm selling at 10,000 rupees. So a customer came, he has bought one item. Now on this, I need to have output CGST, output SGST. Ledger is not available. I'm just creating Alt-C, output CGST under duties and taxes, comes under GST, under central tax, tax is 0% because it will pick from this stock item, 250 rupees. Output SGST, duties and taxes, GST comes under state tax. Okay, 10,500. So there is nothing called round off. So it's 15-day credit. Description of the transaction in narration, accept. So now this is the transaction you have done. Sold to Glovis one Bajaj 170-liter fridge at 10,000 rupees. Now you want to print this invoice, click on Control P for print, preview, click on preview. Okay, if you want all the details, I'm sorry, go to configuration, set up the configuration, what are all the things that you need. I need quantity, I need rate, okay. Then in GST, I need, if you need item wise details, you need percentage, HSN, okay. Show HSN and SSC details, HSN analysis, yes. Now, preview. Look here, this is your sales invoice. From Medha Consultancy to Glovis, invoice number 1, 2nd of April. Item is Bajaj 170-liter fridge, HSN code 42343, charged at 5%, one number 10,000 rupees. There is an output CGST, output SGST, and it is also giving you the HSN summary. Okay. So this is the invoice. This is where we have made a sale entry. Now, if you look at the stock summary, click on stock summary. Okay. So Alt F1 for explode. Now Bajaj, this is the item that we had sold, right? AC 1.5 ton, or which item we sold. If you want to know that, again click on F12. Say opening balance, inward, outward. Bajaj 170-liter fridge is what we sold. Okay. So I may have made a mistake. The purchase was at 12,000 rupees, but we have sold at 10,000. Generally, no one does that. All right. So let me just go and change this sale entry to 15,000. It is not 10,000. Example, I'll just make the changes. I'll say it's 15,000 rupees. Okay, automatically my GST also changed to 375. Credit also changed to 375. Okay, now I have 5 numbers I had purchased, 1 I have sold. My closing stock is 4 numbers. Okay. See, the reason why I told it will become easier for business if you have groups as your products is basically whenever a customer walks in, he has decided what product he has to buy. He has decided to buy TV. Now, if you just click on summary and click on TV, shift enter, you know which are all the TV and how much quantity it's available with you. Now it's easier for you to have a discussion with your client to convince him which TV you want to sell to him. Because if he asks for Samsung 30 inches or Sony 42 inch, you don't have that in your stock, you could sell Bajaj 42 inch for him. Okay, because he has decided to buy TV, but he is not very clear on which brand. Okay. So this is, you are looking at group wise information. Now you want to know the same stock availability based on category. Okay, if you want to know that, then you can go to category report on your display more reports, inventory books, stock category summary. Click on stock category summary. Okay, now it is showing brand wise. So 29 numbers, 28 numbers, Sony 24 numbers. Again, click on Alt F1. It will give you brand wise reporting. Where this will be helpful? This will be helpful when you are talking to your suppliers saying which brand of which item you need. So which stock you are holding so that you need not purchase. Is this clear? Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me take an example of one item without unit of measure. Say example, again, I'm selling one AC to Glovis. Okay, let me make one sales entry, one more new entry to Glovis Inc. I'm making one local sales. Okay, so here I don't want to take the common ledger. I want to have separate ledgers because I might have multiple items. Okay, so I'll disable this common ledger. Okay, so I'll just start with a new transaction. Glovis, I'm selling him one AC. Samsung AC 2 ton. Okay, two numbers, two quantity I'm selling him at 30,000 or say example 45,000 rupee per number, 90,000. Okay, so this default go to local sales. Now I'm also charging him installation charges. Okay, installation charges is not my stock item. Okay, but I want to track how many installations have done. Okay, or what is the value of the installations that I have got. So there are two ways that you could do. Either you could create only ledger, or you could also create it as a stock item and track. Say if you want to track the quantities of installation, say example, if you say I did 35 installations. If you want to track that 35 as the number, then you need to have it as a stock item. But if you are not sure that how much quantity you need, but you need only value, I need only value, say like from installation, I have earned 45,000 rupees. Only if you want to have the value, then you could have it as a only as a ledger. So it depends from business to business. Now let me tell you in this given example, I want both quantity and value. So how do I track that? Okay. So what I could do is I could create one stock item called installation charges. Installation charges. This comes under service items. We had created one group called service items, but we had not created any items there. So I'll take it under service items. Category, I'll say it's not applicable. What is the unit of measure? So I will tell you the unit of measure here is nothing. Okay. I do so example is I want to track both quantity and value, right? That's what I told. So let me take it as numbers. Okay, alternate. No, I don't have any alternate. GST details, yes. This is a service item. Okay, HSN code 991873. It's taxable at 18%. It's a service. Okay, so two numbers, two installations. So it's showing us negative because I don't have any purchase for service. I'm having only sale. Okay, so I'm charging 2,500 per installation, 5,000 rupees. So total has become 95,000. And here I will take it as service income under sales account. Okay, I'm not specifying anything as GST over here. 5,000 rupees, 95. Output CGST, it has taken. Output SGST, it has taken. Automatically, it has taken. Okay, I could also have the e-way bill details if I have. I could mention all those things. 15 days of credit, week. So here, if you click on Alt R, it will just repeat the previous voucher narration. That's the shortcut. So you could just save. See, look here. It is saying credit limit has passed the credit limit, so it's not allowing you to make the transaction. Because 1 lakh we had given, initially we had one purchase, sorry, one sale. That money has not come. Now it has gone beyond 1 lakh rupees. So either I need to increase the credit limit or I need to decrease this sale value. So here let me just do it for one item. Installation is for one item. Okay, so now it should probably help me to save this transaction. Yeah, I saved this transaction. Page up on your keyboard, print, preview. Look here, you get Samsung AC TV 2 tons and installation charges at 18%. Both are at 18%. So you have two different HSN codes with summary. In this example, we have taken installation charges. We want to track both quantity and the value. So I have given the quantity. Else you could just create it as a ledger and do away with the quantity. That is also possible. Okay. So now if I look at, yes, Akbar, I know it's time up. Just give me 2 minutes. Now if I look at the stock summary, okay, so here in the group, okay, it is just showing only these values. Where is our, 1 second, let me just check. Where did I create installation under service group? Okay, category not applicable, numbers. Okay. So when I go to stock summary, okay, click on FL configure, show opening stock, inward, outward. Of sorting. So see here, installation charges, there is only in outward, there is no inward, and it is showing us negative value. Hope this is clear. Okay, so the alternate unit of measures, tomorrow we will look at that alternate unit of measures. Okay. So are there any questions? Shrank, what is the service items? I didn't understand. Okay, so are there any questions? So I'm through with the presentation. Okay, if any participants have any questions, you could unmute and speak, or you could put it on chat. Yeah, item was under service items. Yeah, that was the report because it didn't had the closing value. It was not showing on the default report. So we went to the report and configured. When we go to stock summary, okay, on under service items, it was not showing anything. It was showing blank. So I wanted to show you saying that it is, since it has gone negative, it is showing blank. So how do you delete stock group, Varun? If you want to delete a stock group, first you need to delete all the items under the group. Then only it will allow you to stock group, allow you to delete the stock group. So until unless you don't have any items, if there are any items in the stock group, it will not allow you to delete. So like example, you can go to alter, click on stock group, okay, AC, click on alt D, it will not delete because there are items under this group. So first you need to delete the item, then only you can delete the stock group. Okay. Fine. So if there are any questions, okay, you could unmute and ask. Else, we are done for the day. Okay, I request each one of you to just share your experience just by making 1 or 2 minutes of video, and please share it on the group so that other team members will also come to know about your experience. Okay, I strongly recommend each one of you to please record 1 or 2 minutes of the video and share it on the group on your experience about today's session. So tomorrow also we are having the session to cover up the Tuesday's session which we missed. So tomorrow we will be connecting again at 7 o'clock and continue with this topic. So if you don't have any questions, you could log off. Thank you. I'll be here for next 1 more minute. If anyone has any questions, please put it on the chat or you could speak up. Else, thank you everyone. Good night.
Madhu sir, this is Raghu here. Is there any way possibility that you can extend a little bit later on rather than tomorrow?
Sorry, I'm not able to.
Yeah, because instead of tomorrow we also got a little bit engaged. Is there any way you can able to extend this one some other day rather than tomorrow?
It's too short a notice. You should have told me that when we discussed on Monday itself.
Oh, okay, no problem.
It's too short a notice for us to change because most of them would have actually planned for that.
Okay, no problem.
If you had told me this on Monday
no.
or Wednesday, we could have certainly taken it up.
No, absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
If, just as a part,
No problem. Sure.
No issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
And one more thing, sir.
Yeah.
Manish here.
Yeah.
I think we need to schedule the Zoom link, sir, for tomorrow.
I need to share the Zoom link.
Yes.
Okay,
Because today's Zoom link, it will end today.
Okay. Certainly, I'll do it. I'll share the Zoom link with everyone. I'll put it on the group and Manish will share with everyone.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Sir, Gaurav here. I have
Yeah,
a doubt.
Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav.
So, sir, is there a way to like fix the selling price of it? Like, if I just enter the name, the price
Possible.
automatically
Yes,
comes up.
possible.
Is there a
Yes. We will discuss all those things when we discuss on advanced inventory management. Okay. There are a lot more things that you could do in inventory. Okay. So when
Okay.
we take up the advanced inventory options, we'll take up the topic.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, I'm logging off. Thanks, everyone.